Hey everybody, Asher here with something a little new today. This is Ark Survival Evolved. And we are going to be playing it here a little bit. This is as the title suggests, a survival game. And there's really a best way to put it is that we're just going to go ahead and get started. I do have a few hours of experience in this game. And I am playing on single player mainly because I'm still looking for a server that I like. So if you have any server suggestions, I'm happy to take them. But what we're going to be doing here, like I said, is playing single player, and I'm just going to go ahead and get started here. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the survival type games, one of the traditional things you do first since the days of Minecraft, even wow, that game is actually surprisingly old compared to other things now, is you get to punch trees. And how this game really works is a lot like, say, 7 Days to Die, Rust, anything like that, is that you gather resources, you build facilities, fortresses, whatever, and you survive. But there is one catch that makes Ark really important, and I'm a little shocked that I didn't even get a good example of that just starting out right away. But if you look over in the water, you can see something over there. If we walk down the beach here, the nice thing about Ark is that it is not just any survival game, but it is a survival game with dinosaurs. And I have never, ever, ever had a start that didn't have a single dinosaur just all around. So a little bit lonely here, but we shall make it work. Now, if you're looking at my screen and everything, you're seeing a few things pop in. If they dissolve in, that is really just stuff from the respawn. Like rocks will spawn in front of you, trees will spawn in front of you, that's one thing. Like these cliffs right here, and if we look at the map, which conveniently is a map that's kind of like this, we're on the far southeast corner of the island. So this is a new start for me. You can see that I've explored a little bit upwards, but the goal here, you do start on the south part of the island and you want to go north, you want to tame dinosaurs and all of that. And usually I can see quite a few things right away, but we're just going to go ahead, like I said, and other than some weird texturing from punching this tree, I don't really need to do that much more because we can craft, not crouch, craft. Getting my games confused here. So, first thing that you want to craft in this game, and like I said, I'm doing this in part for people who may be interested and want to know more about the game, and for people who may be curious about starting out here, because we're going to go a little bit into the start, because Lord knows I've had plenty of time dealing with the start here. First thing you want to make is a stone pick. You can make torches as well. That's actually a good way to level yourself, because you see we got experience just for crafting. Now the stone pick, very important to read the item description here. Harvesting flint from rocks, thatch from trees, and meat from bodies. Now how that's going to play out is that if we equip the little thing like this, we're going to get a lot more thatch than we were before. More importantly, we are not getting hurt. But you can see over time, as you do things, as you build, or even as you survive, you will get a level up. And this is where the game's progression is kind of interesting to a point. So we're going to go ahead and take our health, and then every level you get 8 Engram points, which you can use to make all kinds of things. Since I'm playing by myself here, I am definitely going to get the stone hatchet. Always get the stone hatchet. If you're playing on a public server or an official server, there's usually campfires around enough for you to use that you don't necessarily need to craft them, but I'm going to get them here. You'll notice that I have 2 points left over. You can carry them on here, and you, like I said, you get 8 per level, and eventually you're going to see things require a lot more points. But you can level up quite a bit to get some of those things. But our early goals are going to be not so much to make a house, but to try and get some clothing to survive. And you can see one of the more important notifications in the game is that we did defecate. In fact, there's our poop there. Very well formed poop, I must say. So that is a good thing to consider. But like I said, we're going to be mainly focusing on surviving, leveling up. What I used to do in this game, at least when I first got, is the Minecraft thing of the very first thing I want to do is build a house. That's not quite how I play this anymore, because the first type of house you can make is thatch housing, and thatch housing tends to get destroyed or broken into really easily. Now I can do that a little bit more because I am playing single player right now, and the nice thing about playing solo on your computer is that it gives you the opportunity to learn some of the basics here and not have to deal with like weird server ping and stuff like that. And for those of you who may not know, and I'll put my specs in the description here, this game looks good. I'm not running it on max settings or anything, but I also do not have like a be-all, end-all beast of a system or anything like that. As you can see, I got some flint. Let's go ahead and craft a hatchet while I'm talking about this. I have an i3 3220. I have a Radeon HD 7850. Like I said, those are good, but they're definitely not top-notch. And yet this game runs pretty smoothly. I'm even with recording software right now, it runs pretty smoothly. So if some of you were holding out because you weren't sure how the game would play on your system, and of course as soon as I talk about how my computer runs the game, I do get a crash while looking out into the ocean. So that's a first for me as well. But you can see there is a little bit of coast over there now. Some of the best advice I've gotten from people, as I noticed I was dying quite a bit early on, is don't go into the water. You want to try and stay on the land as much as possible early on. So that's what we're going to do here. You're seeing I'm taking a lot of stuff from plants. You're seeing I'm getting berries here. And while meat is going to be something that's very important that we get to, is there we go. There is a look at a dinosaur right there. So we have a nice cliff face up here. We have our first obelisk kind of peeking over here. We have some dancing lights as well. It's just trying to say, hey, come over here. Why don't you look here and let the big dinosaurs kill you. There's a giant rock that just is fading into the world. For whatever reason, it's taking its dear sweet time, but there we go. So see, there is a white male carbonus. It's an herbivore. It's one of the first dinosaurs you'll probably want to tame, because that's right, you don't just get dinosaurs, you can tame them as well. You can kill them, you can do all kinds of things. And if you're playing online with other people, you can share and show them off. So like I said, my goal here is to eventually find a server that I like, but I think it's easier for me just to show some of the basics here. So as we go on, like I said, the early part of the game is really just getting fiber, getting all this stuff. And we have, I heard something, as we have another rock that's just right there. So there is one of our talkies. How are you doing today? Now, the other thing that I'm looking for here is something that I can kill for meat, because the next thing that I can craft is a campfire. And I'm going to need to get on top of my food game here really fast, because this still is a survival game. There's some berries you can eat. Narco berries you don't want to eat because they make you drowsy. Stem berries are more for like a speed boost and stuff, but otherwise some of these berries you can't eat very well for food. So it is okay to take kind of a vegetarian diet earlier, but nothing quite does bang for your buck for eating quite like meat. So that's what we're going to go after here. Of course, I'm going to try and get some more wood as well, because I do think I am going to build just some kind of early shelter, just to show you all what the building is all about. Although I will say some of the advice that I've gotten is kind of consistent with what people have been telling me before, which is thatch housing is not really worth your time too much. If you lose it, just deal with it and move on. No reason to run back. You shouldn't really try and keep everything permanent in there. But let's go ahead and we got some stone, we got some other stuff. I'm just going to walk over here, get some berries and stuff. I believe we're going up the east coast right now, yeah. So as you go further north, things get decidedly worse and more dangerous. Bigger dinosaurs, bigger herbivores as well, but you see a lot more carnivores. Right now on the coast, the only carnivores I have to worry about, as we can see some more up here, are dillos. And dillos are little pack dinosaurs that can spit on you and really cause you to have a bad time. But as we go a little bit forward here, you can see a pterodactyl flying up in the distance. And more importantly, we have my target. That's up ahead. Our first meat is going to be right here as I'm eating all the berries. That is a dodo bird crawling around. I don't know why of all the things that they wanted to bring back on this Ark Island forever, it's worth the dodo bird's one of them, but if we need to eat, we want to attack it with the pickaxe. You can attack it with the pickaxe, you can anything else, but when you harvest the body... Now that's weird. Okay. That's not how it's supposed to work. The pickaxe is supposed to give you more meat from bodies. The hand axe is supposed to give you more hide, and I got unlucky there. Now granted, I'm going to be needing hide later, so that's okay. But what I really want right now, because my food level is not super happy. Although I'm at a pretty temperate places. There's some triceratopses right there, which is pretty good. Now some other suggestions that I've gotten here is that I can build things early. As you can see, I'm getting my encumbrance up pretty high. See, this triceratops is not going to attack me. It's female. Gender's important because your dinosaurs will get bonuses whether they're yours or somebody else if there's one of the opposite sex near them. So that means this one's probably a female as well. But I don't want to venture too far north. Oh, it's male. They're just not very close to each other. But if I were to attack one of them, they would get aggressive in defending each other. Now what we have over here, you can see a little bit in the distance. You can tell we're starting to get to some scarier places. There's a scorpion up there. And we don't really want to go too much further north. We can go a little bit, but like I said, all I'd like to find is some meat. And you can see that some of our items are spoiling a little bit. There's not a ton you can do about that. It's just stuff is going to spoil. The big thing is, can you keep up with what you try and find, and can you survive long enough to get some higher levels? And we do have some other dinosaurs over there. Like I said, I want some dodos to eat. Like these are herbivores. These are pretty much the equivalent of cattle. As you can see, the big old poop there. Which, if you want to instantly kill yourself in this game, you can eat poop. So, moral of the story of Ark Survival Evolved is don't eat poop. We're actually pretty close to a... let's hear. This watering hole has some stuff, which is good. We have the forest over there, which can cause a lot of nightmares. But we're getting kind of to the range where I'm starting to get a little uncomfortable, because things can start popping around the corner and just killing me around this area. So we'll do a little bit of exploration. Like I said, if the biggest part of this early game is just doing things to level up. Now there's one way that you can get some pretty decent experience early, and that is by crafting torches. You can craft multiple torches. It only takes one resource per, and once you do that, you're going to see that we're out of flint here, but that gives us experience, so we did actually level up. Yay, I'm going to get a little bit of melee damage because that's important. And I'm going to get some clothes. I mean, I know it's fun and exciting to be an attractive beefcake should be in Gears of War individual like that. But truth be told, there's a lot of benefits to clothes, including hypothermic and hyperthermic insulation. In other words, one thing that I'm a little surprised I haven't seen a lot of yet pop up, but it must just be where I started off, is that it's really easy to get way too hot or way too cold in this game. And that can mess with your stamina, that can mess with a lot of stuff. In fact, that's probably why I haven't gotten super hungry just yet. Let's see right here, suddenly, look, I'm wearing clothes, not just a cod piece. And now I'm able to make it just a little bit further, but let's see here. Probably a good idea to disengage from this area, but there's a dillo down there. There's two dillos, and you can see the dinosaurs here will interact with the environment. They're chasing down that other dinosaur for a little bit. Now, and a lot of those dinosaurs will run, especially the herbivores. But you can see right here, they're hunting them down. So I definitely don't want to go too much further north than this, because right now, as badass as I feel, I can't take two dillos on at the same time. So we'll just continue to roam around here just a little bit. Like I said, the game's pretty stable. It runs pretty well. But it also starts to get a little dangerous right about here in this area, because we've gone pretty far north. In fact, I'm actually further north in the map than I have been in any other region. And that's just from going on the east side, although we're not even all the way east. There's a whole bay that if we go on the other side, there's even more things. So your starter area is kind of the southern coast. And that's where you want to stay. And technically you want a southern spawn in the south. But that's not really what I got. I got a random location on pretty much the east side. So we'll take that for what it's worth, but there's another dinosaur. We have more berries that we can eat. Might as well eat them here. And if you press and hold H, you can see all kinds of details. It is 16 degrees Celsius, and I do have a 65 food rating. So those are all well and good. Like I said, we're just going to try and level up here just a little bit. Hopefully I don't get myself killed. There's a Triceratops. I could try to attack the Triceratops. It will probably own me. There's a pterodactyl that will definitely own me if I attack it. But as we get down here, you can see now we have more dinosaur spawns on the coast. It just takes a little bit of time, as we do have a day-night cycle that's going on here. And once again, this is not Minecraft. It's not like the uglies come out at night and will bump you if you don't immediately have stuff out. But we do have an extra torch. So we will have that ready. Because it does get a little dark. Like I said, what I really want from all this is meat. And what I used to try and do is, okay, well, let me just hop in the water and get some meat. Problem being is that lately, the last few times I've done that, gigantic crocodile things or massive piranhas have come out to obliterate me. So we're not doing that. We do, however, have just some other stuff here. Like I said, that's a interesting, different looking turtle dinosaur. They did just recently release a patch. I don't think it had a lot to do with coloration of stuff, but I do like the dynamic lighting in this game. And there we go. There are some more dodos. In fact, these guys may be close enough to where they challenge. They both challenge me, but we have a pink and a... So there we go. These guys are both going to try and attack. So one dead. Level 25 dodo. I know you are extinct, but so are the dinosaurs. So, and if you don't get these in time, it does decompose. So finally, there's some raw meat. Not as much as I'd like, but it's chicken. So we're getting hide too. Hide is good. Hide is very important to get. And as much as I want to kill some of these dinosaurs, they run really fast, so it's not great for me to do that. But we are finally getting some things that we can harvest for resources. So, killed another dodo. More raw meat. Even more raw meat. Well, we have rocks right here. So we haven't had to fight any adversarial dinosaurs yet, which is just a little bit surprising. But we do have all kinds of things that we can't get, berries and otherwise. And you'll notice that I'm just walking around collecting as I go. Probably hear me furiously tapping the E button. That's just how that works. So so see, here we go. We're starting to get some environmental hazards, and you can see food decreases faster as the ambient temperature gets lower. So now we're getting to the point where we're thinking about shelter. Now's the time to do it. And let's see if we round this corner here. I kind of want to get back on the southern coast real quick, because we did have a pretty good walk a little bit north. Kind of doing the nomad thing right now. I could make one little thatch house just to have it here early, but there is the sunset, and there are the trees. And I have a whole lot of berries, but that's okay. Because once I level up here again, which harvesting resources, pretty much everything you do levels you up. Pretty much everything. So as the sun's setting over here, and you can see another obelisk just a little bit in the distance. We're kind of back to where we started here, which is okay. We're not quite leveled up yet. So let's get just a little bit of wood. You can see I'm kind of near my encumbrance point already, which is what that weight under the plus sign is. So I've got a lot of stuff. But the reason I'm getting some wood here is I think this is a decent place to camp. There's some rocks by here. Should be some good things to harvest. It's on a little bit of a hill, so should be relatively easy to spot for me. Although if I was on a PvP server, that's not really, I don't necessarily want to have my camp wide out in the wide open. But you can see it's getting darker. And you can see we have a green obelisk all the way down there. The one that was up there was blue, and then there's another one over this way. So those lights light up the night sky no matter what. So let's go ahead and access inventory. We have 7 raw meats. Gonna put on a little bit of wood. I guess all the wood, why not? Let's go ahead and shift drag half that. There we go. You don't need all this fire on there. In fact, it's not a great idea to leave your fire going too long, but what is a good idea is to A, keep yourself warm so that you can continue to harvest. And if we're going to be making thatch stuff, I don't need wood so much as I need thatch. So You can see once again, because I'm cold, I'm losing food faster. But if I stay closer to my fires, look, I pooped again. Once again, poop an integral part of the game. It is a resource you can use. Don't really want to pick it up, because I don't need it yet. And I'm just going to go ahead and get some thatch. Nice and warm next to the fire, and then we can hopefully level up here before long. So I'll just grab a few things over here. Like I said, you don't have to stand on the fire to make it work. We are going to have a few things spoil, but that's okay. And I think I need some flint too, so let's do that. In fact, this will let me show you another nice crafting thing that makes this really nice compared to some other games. Is that when one of your items breaks, as this one is about to, and I'm not going to be able to get this stone more than likely. There, it broke. I don't even have to go to my inventory. I can just press 1, and I will repair or recraft, depending on if I have something or not. So, primitive pickaxe is repaired. I can keep going. We're about to level up yet again, so we got a little bit of flint. That's good, and you can see giant boulders going towards the ocean falling into the water. A little bit hyperbolic, but what can you do? So we got lots of berries. We're just clearing a little bit of an area here to start building a house before long. But I think I guess as they say, dinner's ready. Let's find out. If you press F, you can immediately skip to the inventory. Thanks, opening screen tooltips. Okay, I was about to say I don't want to put the berries in the fire. Charcoal's another resource. It's pretty good. And you can see right away we did gain another level. So I'm going to add to my encumbrance a little bit. And I think I will, now that I have 12 points, go ahead and get most of the stuff ready for housing. Because I should have most of that there. I mean, I can make a door. Can't put a roof on my house yet, but that's kind of the end game of housing, if you will. And you can see I am level 3. I am level 3, right? Alright, put out the fire because we don't need it anymore. And you can see we're cold. But we do have meat. We do have even more charcoal. So here we go. It's nighttime. Night cycle. You can eating cooked meat does a pretty good job of feeding you about 20 units per. And you can level up your other stuff. But let's go a little bit over building real quick, just to show you all what it's all about. It's a lot like other games that are like this, if you've played them. I haven't played them, but other than, say, Minecraft or something. But let's just go ahead and craft some things out of there. I'm going to make 2 thatch foundations. Looks like I'm going to need some more other stuff here. So we got a door frame, we got a door. And you can see once again I'm getting experience for crafting. Alright, how many walls? 4 walls I can craft. Yeah, each time you finish a craft you get a little bit of experience. Spamming torches is a good way to level some stuff up, but you can see once again my encumbrance is going to be a bit higher just because I'm now holding practically a Home Depot, if that makes any sense to you, worth of stuff. Now, one thing you get to be careful here, as you can see, I now am listed as I'm almost encumbered. I'm going to be slowed down moving. Is that all you got to do here is hit 0, and this is just going to be a small abode down by the beach. Now, if I'm not careful here, see, these will automatically snap too, which is nice. Then I can put this out here, and there you go. Now, if I hit O again, it will actually craft it, so I'm going to take that off just to be careful. A little bit of crazy spin. Yeah, let's go ahead and put down a door right here. Some walls. Would be nice to not have to manually select the walls each time, but that's a small gripe. And we have almost all the resources necessary to make this work. So, what do we got? Should be a door in here. There we go. And here we go. Look, I have a torch in my thatch house. Almost, but not quite a house. It takes a good while for you to get higher levels to get stuff like wood. So you do have to learn thatch anyway. So that's kind of why I'm building here. But that's going to be it for now. I will finish this house just kind of off camera, but I do want you to see real quick. You do have a few sparkly things in the sky. Once again, those are little traps to try and get you to come closer, and if you're ready or with a group, you can do it, but where I'm at right now, I am not prepared. So next episode, what are we going to be going into? We are going to be talking a little bit more about crafting, leveling up, and more importantly, taming dinosaurs. I'm going to show you all how it is done, hopefully successfully. I do have enough berries and a lot of other resources to make it work. So, like I said, Ark, it's fun. It's early access. I do recommend it, but once again, it's early access. So there are lots of updates from the developer, which is a positive, but there will be bugs, there will be issues. Like I said, I did experience a outright crash just from some resource loading issues. So that was the first that I've ever had to deal with that, and I have done some test recording of this previously. But this is Asher. Thanks for watching. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. You're welcome to comment, subscribe, just like anybody else. If you have any thoughts, questions, opinions, or suggestions for a server to play on, by all means throw them my way. Otherwise, I'll continue kind of the early trek of Ark next time and show you how to survive and possibly even thrive in the early game. Thanks for watching. Take care.